Cool. Just gotta wait a couple days there. I guess we're gonna review that one there. But again, you get the idea here. We are talking about that hazy and hot forecast that continues for the next little while. Take a look at Boulder where, well, the Flatiron's not so gorgeous here on this Tuesday. Oh, I guess they're gorgeous. It's not the Flatiron's fault. It's just the smog that's getting in the way of it. It's all that wildfire smoke, primarily from California, mainly from the Dixie Fire, but also getting quite a bit of smoke from the Bootleg Fire in southeastern Oregon, and a lot of that filtering its way through our skies across Colorado. Some good news to pass along. A little bit of good news. Might notice how far southern Colorado, really I-70 on south here, we are looking at those air quality alerts that are no longer in place. That's the first time since Friday that the entire state is not covered in air quality alert. So, hey, Rome wasn't built in a day, and in this case, we got a little bit of good news to pass along, is that southern Colorado and even parts of the eastern plains not included within our air quality alerts. Denver, though, how about this? For us here in the Mile High City, day number 36 in a row that we have an ozone action alert day. You got to go back to July the 4th for the last time we did not have this in place for Denver. Now, the smoke forecast, it's not popping up here, but general idea is that we are going to be talking about some dissipating smoke for tonight and into tomorrow. But by the time we get into tomorrow afternoon, again, you should probably start to notice some gradual improvements with the smoke. That said, the real concern for air quality is ozone, and that will stay, unfortunately, in place for us into Denver and throughout the Front Range as we get through tomorrow and likely through the remainder of the week. So, air quality, the wildfire smoke may dissipate a little bit as we get over the next few days, but the air quality overall is unfortunately going to remain very poor. There's no doubt about that. Part of the reason why is hot temperatures. Look at the eastern plains already well into the 80s, close to 90. In fact, a few 90s popping on up in Sterling, Ray, and then you get into the mountains, a lot of 70s and 80s for us. So we're running a few degrees above average. Again, these are just your noon temperatures, so we'll end up much warmer than this. A lot of these temperatures in eastern Colorado running about 3 to 5 degrees above where we should be for the early mid part of August. Into the mountains, 70s and 80s. Nothing too crazy about that. Grand Junction, 97. Our sweltering summer statewide, but particularly for friends in the western slope, continues with temperatures just scorching out that way. So the forecast, maybe a popcorn shower storm or two for us. I don't think really we're talking about any sort of significant action for us in terms of that thunderstorm forecast over the next few days, or I should say for tonight into early tomorrow. As we get over the next few days, we could see an increase in some showers and storms, maybe starting a little bit tomorrow, but probably more into your Thursday. But we'll start off on a dry note for us as we get into tomorrow. Tonight, temperatures dropping back into the low 60s. Take a look at that for you. Yeah, some of that smoke, that haze still sticking around tomorrow. Hottest day probably of the week with, guess what, more haze in store for us. And again, keep in mind, ozone is the air quality that or the bad air quality. It's the pollution that you can't really see. What we're seeing now is that wildfire smoke. So I know it's gotten a lot more attention over the last few days, all that smoke that's filtering its way out through, and for good reason. Again, when you can see it, and especially what we saw back on Saturday, how dramatic those scenes were back on Saturday. Yes, we are talking about very, very visible air quality, and that does matter. But what we're going to see over the next few days is going to be kind of less of that wildfire smoky type of haze and more of just the straight ground pollution. And when you get to 96 degrees, like what we're expecting for tomorrow, you really need three things to create ground ozone. One, car exhaust, which we're going to have obviously tomorrow morning with the morning commute. Two, the really warm temperatures and the sunlight from that kind of helps create that ozone. And number three, you need nitrogen oxides. Long story short, that's just a lot of factories, cars, different sorts of polluting things, and those three things come together and you get, again, temperatures of 96 degrees like what we're expecting for tomorrow. We're going to be looking at some of that ground ozone that'll be in place, and that is not good news for our air quality. Meantime, what is maybe a bit of good news is we'll see some cloud cover from the monsoon in southern Colorado. That should, again, help things out with the wildfire smoke and overall the air quality for our friends in the San Luis Valley into the San Juans and on east. return pass on north through Pueblo. And that's also where we're going to see a few shower storms develop here as we get into your day tomorrow. So tomorrow, better chance for some shower storms, especially in southern and western Colorado. That's also the part of the state that could use the moisture the most at this point. So a little bit of good news there. Eastern Plains, very hot for tomorrow, even some triple digits possible in a place like Lamar. And then you get in the mountains, we're looking at 70s and 80s once again, and also once again 97 degrees for us in Grand Junction. Closer look in here at the urban corridor, the Front Range and the metro area. 95 Bennett, 93 Parker, 84 Lakewood, although that seems a little low. I would assure you Lakewood would be a bit warmer. That might be an error there. 95 Arvada, 96 downtown, 98 Longmont. All right, 7-day forecast. We run through this for you here for the next few days. Yes, we do have that heat in place for your Wednesday. We start to kind of gradually dissipate on down by Thursday. And notice here, I'm going to come back in here and show you this. By Thursday, we're going to start to reintroduce that chance for a shower or storm. That'll be higher in the mountains, much higher in the mountains. And the further south and west you go, the better the chance for a shower or storm on your Thursday. But a slight one for us in Denver as well. Slight chance for a shower storm. And then by Friday and through the weekend, we're talking about some kind of 30-40% showers and storm chances for us in Denver and the Front Range. So kind of a typical summertime pattern where, again, highs around 90, afternoon hit or miss storms. So we're kind of going back to normal, so to speak, here by the time we get into the weekend, as we're, again, getting some of those showers and storms back to the picture. That should help out a little bit, especially you get a storm that'll kind of clear the air a little bit. So we may see some more significant improvements as we get into the weekend. Also, if you're concerned about the smoke and the wildfire and the air quality overall, one thing to watch for is it's really going to be hot in the Pacific Northwest as we head over the next few days. That could unfortunately really fuel some more smoke to come from those fires, and we're downwind of that smoke. And long story short, if it's really hot in the Northwest and there's more wildfire activity up that way, we're going to see it in our skies here in Colorado. So just keep that in mind as we head over the next little while. Early next week, we're talking about those temperatures getting back into the low 90s with still some showers and storms around, at least for your Monday. So there's a look at that overall forecast for you. Again, very hot for tomorrow and still pretty hot on Thursday. Then the weekend, we kind of, again, go back to normal and hopefully, honestly, hopefully get a storm or two, because that'll help clear the air once we do get that move its way on through. But unfortunately, I hate to say it, this lousy air quality, I don't see any real significant cold fronts or anything that's going to just kind of mix out the air enough to get rid of it. We're probably going to have ozone action alert days, certainly for the foreseeable future. I would basically say for sure that we'll have it through the end of the weekend into the weekend as well. So maybe a little good news in there, but overall, I just wish I had better news for you. I don't make the weather, just a reminder of that front. Meantime, hopefully you have a great rest of your Tuesday. Now stay safe. Remember that ozone is lowest in the morning, so get that early jog in, kind of 6, 7 a.m. if possible. It maximizes during the early to mid afternoon. So a couple bits of information for you there as well. I'm Meteorologist Chris Bianchi. Have a great rest of your Tuesday.